In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, a trial was underway. The chamber, vast and imposing, was filled with representatives from every known species in the galaxy. They were gathered to address a crisis unlike any they had ever faced, a war waged by the most unpredictable and dangerous species in the universe, humans. At the center of the chamber stood Ambassador Vral of the Tharkians, an imposing figure with silver scales and eyes that glowed with an inner light. Vral was the one who had called for this meeting, driven by the desperation of his people. Before him stood General Marcus Hale, a human representative, calm and composed despite the gravity of the situation. Vral's voice, amplified by the chamber's acoustics, echoed through the hall. General Hale, the Galactic Council has convened to discuss the atrocities committed by your species in the recent conflict with the Tharkian Dominion. We have seen the reports, witnessed the devastation. Your tactics defy all sense of decency and honor. How do you justify this? Hale stepped forward, his gaze sweeping the assembly. Atrocities. Tactics. You speak as if we are playing a game. But war is not a game, Ambassador. War is survival. Vral hissed in response, his scales rippling with anger. Survival. Is that what you call it? Your forces ignored every established rule of engagement. You attacked during sacred cycles, deployed weapons that left entire planets uninhabitable, and you showed no mercy to non-combatants. This is not the way civilized species conduct war. Hale's expression remained unyielding. Civilized war. There is no such thing. When your fleets arrived in our system, when you laid waste to our colonies and enslaved our people, you didn't come to us with your rules of war. You came with destruction, and we responded in kind. The room buzzed with murmurs of unease. The Tharkians were known for their strict codes of honor in battle, and their rules of engagement had been accepted by most species in the galaxy for centuries. But humans were different. They were newcomers to the galactic stage, and their ways were still a mystery to many. Vral sneered. You have no honor, human. Your species fights like animals. Hale's eyes narrowed. Honor doesn't win wars, Ambassador. Strategy, adaptability, and the will to survive do. When you threatened our existence, we didn't hold back. We fought with everything we had. And yes, that means we didn't follow your so-called rules. But we didn't start this war. You did. The Tharkian ambassador recoiled slightly, his gaze flickering. He hadn't expected the human to be so blunt, so unapologetic. In Tharkian culture, war was a dance of honor, a test of strength and strategy within well-defined boundaries. But humans were something else entirely. Vral composed himself, his voice quieter but no less intense. You speak of survival, but what of the innocent lives lost? The children, the elders, they were not warriors, and yet your forces showed them no mercy. Hale's face softened, a flicker of something almost like regret crossing his features. War is hell, Ambassador, and in hell, everyone suffers. But understand this. We didn't choose this path. We were forced onto it. Your people gave us no choice. The room fell silent, the weight of Hale's words hanging in the air. For a moment, even Vral seemed at a loss for what to say. The human's words were harsh, but there was truth in them. A truth that made the other representatives uneasy. Finally, one of the council members, a member of the peaceful Mirhan species, spoke up. Her voice was gentle, but her words were pointed. General Hale, we understand the desperation of your people, but surely there must be a way to resolve conflicts without resorting to such extremes. Hale turned to her, his expression resolute. We would welcome that, counselor, but the galaxy is not always a kind place. We humans have learned that the hard way. We tried diplomacy, we tried compromise, but when those fail, we do what we must to protect our own. If that means fighting without rules, then so be it. Vral shook his head slowly, a mix of frustration and fear in his eyes. You are a dangerous species, General. You fight without restraint, without honor. How can we trust you? Hale's reply was simple, almost cold. You can trust that we'll do whatever it takes to survive. We don't have rules for war because war, by its very nature, is chaos. We didn't ask for this war, but we'll end it. And when it's over, we'll do what we've always done. Rebuild and move on. But we won't be the ones to strike first. The chamber fell into a tense silence. The other species realized that humans were not bound by the same codes of conduct, that their survival instinct made them unpredictable and terrifying in conflict. But they also understood something else. Humans didn't seek war, but when it came to them, they wouldn't shy away from it. The Galactic Council adjourned without a clear resolution, the members dispersing with a new understanding of humanity. The Tharkians withdrew from human space, their fear of provoking another conflict outweighing their desire for vengeance. As General Hale left the chamber, he knew that humanity had sent a message to the galaxy. They were not to be underestimated. War, for them, was not a matter of honor or rules. It was about survival, and in that they would never yield.